Hi guys, this is your special bonus video to Retrieving Safety. We're going to talk about awareness, okay? And a lot of times we confuse fear with danger, okay? And fear is a mind state. It's an experience that's entirely internal and how we are responding to a feeling, a thought, or some sort of external situation, right? And so if we address fear from the mindset element and looking at how are we addressing danger, how are we addressing the unknown, lack, and abundance, then we can begin to look at the awareness that's in us and see if we're actually being alerted to a danger. Because a danger is going to be situational. It's going to be something that is happening right now. Or it could be something, it can fall into the category of what if, but we have to be careful there because fear is always about a what if. It's an anxiety, it's a projection onto the future. But here's a rational what if. I run a business. There could be something that happens. I need to have certain kinds of protections in place for rational risks, right? You get in the car, you put on a seatbelt, rational protective measure against a potential risk or danger, right? So danger can be in the future if we're looking at assessing risks. But the thing we have to be careful here is to understand that our brain can create innumerable amounts of fear and irrational things. What we want to ground risk assessment in is in actual things that could happen in response to taking an action or not, okay? And then looking at whether or not the probability, how high that probability is in that occurring. And then you can take proactive steps to manage it. That's the real key here, guys. We don't do a thing because there's a risk. I'll restate that. We do not avoid doing a thing because it's risky. We avoid or choose not to do a thing because we're not willing to inherit the consequence, or it is not incongruent or in alignment with what brings us happiness. It's not aligned with what I call brilliance, our natural joy and expression in the world. Okay, so let's break this down to something practical for you so you can understand what I'm getting at here before we can get deeper into awareness. We all want a relationship. There's an inherent risk in relationship, the risk of being rejected, the risk of being losing them through death, for instance, the risk of always being alone, never finding somebody, the risk of making a mistake and choosing the wrong person, that kind of thing. These are rational risks, but we can minimize most of them. The only one we really can't control is if they die. That's outside of our control. It's in what I call natural powerlessness, which is part of our power dynamic in the world. We are naturally powerless over a lot of things, weather, other people, their feelings, death, things like that. So if we're willing to accept the consequence that we might get into a relationship with someone who would die before we do, then we're able to assess the next three risks. How about choosing the wrong person? And what we need to do there is learn who we are and learn for positive signals and learn the positive signals people give off that demonstrate they're healthy. Learn what compatibility actually looks like and how to create agreeableness and conscientiousness with other people so you can determine if you want to be with them for a long time, right? Want, not need, not should, not must, but want. Because relationships are an experience of desire and creativity, and they're not there to help us survive. They're there to be a part of our thriving, our expansion, our happiness, our love, our confidence, that kind of thing. So we can manage that. Picking the wrong person is controlled entirely by knowing who to pick and when to pick them, that kind of thing. Getting rejected, that's inevitable. So if we're willing to receive rejection and change the way we interpret it and use it to our advantage, then it becomes largely a non-issue. See? So now we've minimized the risks or surrounding getting into a healthy relationship. Now, the last one that I brought up was, it would never happen for me. That's a mindset issue, and that's rooted in lack, right? Not abundance. So we switch that around to abundance. Then we're going to make it easier to leave people and accept people because we're open to receiving what's available to us now. Now, this is where our awareness comes into play. Okay, guys? So in our awareness, we have a lot of thoughts, we have a lot of feelings or sensations coming up in our body. So I basically have three voices going on inside of us. We have our programming, which is what we've been told to think, do, we should, we must, we don't. Those are our programming statements. Then we have what other people say to us, their voices, their opinions, their points of view, whether past or present or what we anticipate in the future. So we got those two voices, and then we have us. And our voice comes through a simple awareness, typically signaled by expansive lightness or heaviness. Not feeling good, not feeling pain, not feeling fear, not feeling excitement. Lightness, expansive, heaviness. And then if we're talking about intuitive voice, then it's a knowing, a hunch, something that is there in our awareness that is for us. We're not sure if it's a fact or not, but we suspect, we have a hunch, we have a suspicion there's something going on. Now, emotions do not equal intuition. Intuition is not an emotional thing. It is a knowingness that you might have emotional reactions to, but the emotions themselves are not actually the intuitive voice. Okay? This is what awareness really is about. What voices am I aware of within me, and which one is mine? Once I know which one is mine, then I can start to address the issue. I can go, ooh, this is heavy. I'm not going to choose that, because heaviness creates more heaviness, which is more drain and more unfun and more displeasure and all that. Ooh, this is light and expansive. I'm going to choose that. That'll expand me into more things. Okay? When we choose lightness, we choose expansion, which means we're going to have experience and growth. This inherently puts us into the unknown a bit, and now we get to deal with danger and we get to deal with risk, but in a rational way, in a way that's got a purpose to it so that we can take it effectively, make it work for us. Okay? Now, sometimes you're going to get a really clear hit that this is dangerous. Something is wrong here. Do not do this. Respect that. You'll actually find that those kinds of awarenesses feel light because they're true. Lightness equals truth. Heaviness equals false or a lie. So when you look at your sensing awareness about what you're choosing and what's going on around you, you'll be able to use that to detect safe, healthy opportunities, people, places, and things that work or don't work for you. I do it all the time now. I have practiced being in my body so frequently that I'm like, ooh, something's off there. Don't deal with that right now. Ooh, let's go over and play with that. I've been able to smoke out or smell narcissistic or toxic people and avoid them. This is how our awareness promotes our safety, because it helps us make wiser, more informed choices about whom we relate with and whom we don't. We must practice and exercise that awareness in order to have it influence us and be present in our reasoning and decision-making moments. Okay? So with this, I would like you to practice the light and heavy awareness or sensing tool. The sensing tool is a tool that I created for the Being You Brilliantly mastermind or mentorship that I run 3 times a year, where I teach people how to root back into themselves, go deeper into hearing their voice, being rooted in their beingness and value, and then being able to choose and receive the things that they want. This tool comes from that live mentorship. And it allows you to basically tune in to your awareness and start to go, oh, this is light, that's heavy, oh, this is going on, and that's going on, oh, that's not. And help you begin to expand your intuitiveness about what's safe and what isn't for you, okay? So if you want to join that mentorship, it's always very limited seating, typically 20 people. You need to go to app.freetheself.com, get on the wait list, and then when the seats are released, you'll be given an opportunity to have a consult. We'll get on the phone together. We'll discuss what's going on for you. We'll get you some tools with those situations, and we'll see how you fit Being You Brilliantly and if that's the appropriate direction for you, okay? Now, if you want to take control back of your happiness, You want to create real connection with yourself and with others, get those internal needs, the need for attention and validation, need for safety, the need for love. You want to get those needs met. And you want to eradicate the shame, fear, guilt, or fatigue that you've been coping with all this time because of the narcissistic abuse and neglect. Then you need to join the Codependence to Confidence system. It's my self-guided course that, with 3 basic courses put into one, basically, that allows you to, well, I train you on how to let go of the shame and bring love into it. I train you how to let go of fear and bring confidence into it. I train you how to let go of guilt so that you can find peace, right? And I train you how to create connection with yourself and others so that you're no longer love addicted, you're no longer trauma bonded, and you're able to meet your needs so that you're not running from relationship to relationship or avoiding them at all. Then I train you in the skills that produce happiness, okay? Happiness in friendships, relationships, jobs, careers, being with yourself. You're going to know what you want, what you don't, how to communicate your boundaries. When you have a boundary, you're going to know what your power is, how to use it. You're going to know how to choose yourself first without guilt or shame getting in the way. You're going to be able to thrive in your life. That's what the Codependence to Confidence system gives you. You can join today for a special price. You just go to membership.freetheself.com and get your option, get your gift there. I appreciate you guys being part of this micro course in safety. Let me know how it works for you. If you want anything else, just reach out and let me know. If you want help in eliminating your trauma, reach out to me. I've got a specialized process called Closure Technique on that. And then if you want to reach in deep on being who you are, join the Being You Brilliantly waitlist. And if you're ready to really take control back of your happiness, to rediscover your happiness, love, and confidence in life, join the Codependence to Confidence system. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you. We'll see you online.